everybody, my name is Jo and I love to read. Today I'm going to be doing a video all about how convenient ebooks are, but also that I really want a physical library full of paperbacks and hardbacks. This is just a book chat. It is not a discussion on ebooks versus physical books. There is nothing wrong with either option, whatever works for you. I was actually a bit of a snob in the past and I thought that e-books weren't as good, that I like physical books are the best. I still personally for me love the physical books, but I'm not snobby. I have grown and learnt from that whatever works for you in your situation is the best. I never thought that I would be enjoying ebooks so much or be so grateful that ebooks exist, but I am at the moment in this season of my life, and this video is just all about discussing those feelings. Starting on the ebook side of things, I'm reading a lot on ebook at the moment. If you don't know, I recently had a son named Miles and he is 6 weeks old as of yesterday, which is absolutely crazy. I am doing most of my reading on my phone, using it as an e-reader on various different apps because it is really hard to be breastfeeding, which is what I'm doing with Miles, and hold a book at the same time. Being such a little baby, he feeds a lot and takes time doing it as well. He's not very efficient at the moment and we are often at a minimum are there for like 20 minutes each feed, which is actually really good to have that dedicated reading time. I was really worried about not having that, and to be fair, I could be doing other things on my phone. I could be watching TV, which I do sometimes, do multiple different things, but the best way that I've found to get reading in is using my phone as an e-reader. I've discovered how convenient ebooks are. I have been having issues in the past. Check out my other videos. But basically I finished my TBR, my physical TBR, and I was trying to work out how to be a mood reader with the small TBR. It's quite hard. I'm thinking in like my lofty head at the moment that having maybe 5 books at a time for me will suit, of a range of different genres, but I haven't really had time to test this theory because Miles came into my life and I am now reading on ebooks, and the most convenient thing about them is that you can have whatever you want whenever you want, barring obviously some like really rare things that don't come on ebooks, but generally most things there is an ebook copy somewhere. And it is so easy to, once you finish your current read, to then go, what am I in the mood for? For me, I go to the Storygraph and have a look at my to read pile, browse through the covers and go, oh, that's it. It is so convenient just to be able to find it and download it. It's also so convenient to be able to read sample pages first to see whether you're going to be interested. That is something that is going to be a money-saving whiz while I'm still reading ebooks. It's amazing, especially with non-fiction, to see whether you're interested in them or not. And probably as well to keep reading a little bit more. If you're like a day or so away from payday, you can download the sample pages, read it, and then when you've got some money in to purchase the book if you want to, then you can go ahead and do that. The instant delivery, you can't beat it. It's amazing. That is one of the biggest points, especially being someone who is in a small country town where I don't have a lot of big bookshops, and I also, there are some bookshops, but they're not giant, and I also read a lot of backlist stuff, and so quite often there might be the first book in the series there, but then when I'm ready to read the next one, it's not there. It's only really big things that I can kind of buy straight away, or if I just go in and pick up something on a whim, which I don't often do. I am often looking for stuff on my virtual TBR that I can now pursue now that I've finished my physical TBR. And generally ebooks are often cheaper. I think so far I've seen that they're a lot cheaper than buying physically. So those are all the amazing things about ebooks that I wish I could somehow translate into physical books as well. Probably just the instant delivery thing is the main thing that you can, if I could have the book that I was wanting straight away physically after that, and as well the convenience. I mean, at the moment I can't, I wouldn't be reading much at all if I was reading physically, because it is really hard to juggle baby and book even when I've got him in a position where I'm relatively hands-free. I normally have to sit my book on something. At the moment I've been reading really big books and I trying to find something that I can pop him on even though I've got like a pillow and things like that. It's still a bit difficult. With paperbacks and hardbacks, so I say physical books, it's not meaning to say that I know e-readers are physical things, but it's just the easiest way for me to say physical books to encompass paperbacks and hardbacks. That's what I mean. That's what I'm talking about. I miss the feeling of reading from actual pages. That is something that is probably the biggest thing next to wanting to have a library of books the biggest thing, the absolute biggest thing that I'm missing is the feeling of an actual book in my hand. That has started to diminish a bit. I don't know whether it's me getting used to reading on my phone, or because I was at the end of the book that I was reading and it was really good, so I was more like absorbed in the story and not as aware that I was actually reading. I was more in it. But I really miss physically reading a book, reading like that. I've always done it that way, having the cover as well to be able to refer to, having the book smell and just the feel of the pages and everything. I'm just missing that. The next biggest thing that I am missing with ebooks is actually having the physical book to put on my shelf when I'm finished. The one that I just finished reading on ebook, I do have a copy because I actually bought that first, but the one that I'm about to read, that I'm currently reading now, I don't have a copy of it, which was great to be able to pick it and read it straight away. That's fantastic. But when I'm done, I'm not going to be able to shelve it. And that was probably the biggest conflict that I was feeling, going, oh my god, like, how do I move forward? I'm enjoying some things and some things I'm not. What do I do? And I think I've just realized that this part of my life is just a season of my life. It's not forever. I'm not always going to I want to say, can I guess so. I guess I can say things this way. I'm not always going to have a kid attached to my boob. There is going to be space in my life again, because life is very long, even though life can be brief and short, but also life is very long. There's a lot of time for things. You can always start a new thing, or things will fade. They're not always going to be that way. And that's what I really came to realize over the last couple of days. I was feeling quite conflicted about, what do I do? I don't want to just buy 2 copies of everything that I'm reading. And even if I read anything during this time when ebooks are more convenient and I want to own it, possess it, if I want to own it and put it on my shelf, then I can buy a copy when I can afford it, or I can ask for it for Christmas or my birthday, and instead of adding to my TBR, it goes straight on. I'm a bit funny about that because I haven't technically read that copy, so I would have to, I think, really love the book or the series to do that, which is probably another good money saving technique. But I think the main thing to overcoming this mindset that I was a bit conflicted with is that knowing that this is just a season in my life. It's just a time. It's not going to last forever. It's not even going to last a long time in the scheme of things, even though it feels like a long time at the moment. But also that 6 weeks has gone really quick too. So time is funny like that, isn't it? I'm okay, therefore, with my thoughts and my feelings. I am so grateful to have ebooks, to be able to keep reading, to have made breastfeeding feel like a much funner activity than it necessarily was going to be. I've been so lucky so far with my journey, but I've also, because of my tailbone pain, I was lying down a lot and I was feeling quite isolated, having to be in bed all the time when doing it. So it was really nice to have something to look forward to when I'd had a busy day and I hadn't read, and I wasn't reading a lot to begin with. Even now I'm just squeezing in a few physical pages at the end of the day. It's just so great to then go to bed early, to honour trying to do some self-care by making sure I get enough sleep, and just to think I'm not missing out, because in a couple of hours Miles is going to wake up for a feed and then I'll get to read if I'm feeling awake enough. And that has really helped my mindset, and I am so grateful that that is there. But I will be getting back to having a physical shelf one day, or well, I still have one at the moment, but I will be getting back to probably exclusively reading physically one day, I think. Who knows, it could change. This video was supposed to be an angsty, I need help, I don't know how do you guys do it video. I was looking for advice as to how people manage ebooks and a physical shelf at the same time. So if you still have some advice, then go for it. But I'm happy that I've waited a couple of days to film this, so that I've come up with this mindset that it's not going to be forever. It's going to be a very short space of time that you're going to be feeling this way, and any favorites or books that you must have on your physical shelf, you can just buy them afterwards and then maybe reread them if I feel funny about the fact that I haven't technically read that edition. So thanks everybody so much for watching this video. Did it resonate with you at all in any way, shape or form? It kind of got a bit deeper than I thought it was going to, which is really interesting. Thanks so much for continuing to watch my channel, and I will chat to you guys in my next video. Bye!